Well, welcome back to Timeline Ranch. It's a beautiful morning. I've been working about 4.5, 5 hours so far. I'll show you what I'm up to. So I went ahead and ripped two more 2x6s down into 4 pieces, 2 1/8 inch to extend that wall out upstairs. I'll give the inverter a little break. I'll rip those other 2 here in about 30 minutes or so. Let's go in the building. So downstairs, I've got the 1-inch conduit that we're going to run in this cell right here. The next cell over, I'm going to put a receptacle down here and one upstairs. So I'm kind of working on extending the wall out enough to put 1 piece of sheetrock, which will go over to where you see those bags hanging right there. And my goal today is to get the conduit in, get the wall furred out, and insulated. I don't know if I'll get to the sheetrock, but that'll get me to a point where once I put the sheetrock on, I can start doing that fossilized limestone behind this wood burning stove. I'm just going to work downstairs on it. I don't think I have time to mess with upstairs, but I needed to get this wall furred out so that I could put the box to know, where it's going to be. So let's go upstairs. So up here, so far this morning, I scabbed on those 2 1/8 inch pieces to further this wall out. Put that receptacle in that I already had stubbed up. Just had to do a little kick out on it. That one was fairly easy. This 1 inch that's going to go in this cell right here, I think it should just be a straight shot. I shouldn't have to put any bends on it, because that's not going to need to be furred out to allow for that 1.5 inch veneer. The limestone stops at this stud right here. You see the stack right here? It stops right here. So that's just going to be sheetrock. So I'll need to allow for 1/2 inch sheetrock, and then 3/16 for the red oak veneer that's going to go on the top of that. So this up here is going to go over to this stud right here, this other window. That'll give me 1 full sheet of sheetrock on this as well. And then some other time when I get back to working on the building, I'll go ahead and insulate this today. That way I don't have to mess with it again. And then sometime when I've got some spare time, I'll put that hardy backer on. I already have it here. I just don't want to spend the time doing it. I'd rather be working outside on a beautiful day like this, but excavator's broke, as you know. That'll let me burn up some of this insulation. All these bags right here are rolls of insulation. So I've got quite a bit of it here. Well, let me get back to work. this other stud right here, to put the board on it, I need to take this thimble collar and disassemble this flue because it needs to be on the other side of this transition, this double wall to single wall transition fitting, to allow for that 1.5-inch limestone, fossilized limestone veneer to go behind it. So I'll do that when it cools down all the way. It's getting there. It's almost down where I can take it apart. Still just a little bit of real light smoke and heat coming out of there. That's real easy to put back together. We don't have any screws in it. I don't know if I'll get to that this trip or not. They don't say to, but inside this thimble, I'm going to pack that full of rock wool insulation. Because, really there's nothing insulation wise between there. You got a 2-inch gap all the way around that double insulated pipe. I don't think it could hurt anything. Now rock wool, it's high temperature insulation. It'll take quite a bit before it starts to melt or do anything. And the outside of this double wall pipe with that insulation it has in it really doesn't get that high. I mean, you can put your hand on it. Well, it got dark on me. I was plugging away on that electrical conduit. I'll tell you what, that 1-inch EMT, when you have that many of them right together, is pretty tough to fish through wood framing. So I figured I'd show y'all but as I'm fixing to do it anyway, is light my little wood burning stove here. I use these for kindling out here. You know, there's not a lot of things to burn, so these are the leaves from the yucca, the dried ones, the dead ones on the bottom. I just cut them in little, like 5-inch long sections. I usually put about 3 of them in here at the bottom. Keep a little metal bucket with them in there. I'll put 3 of them like that. On the controls, this is the primary right here, secondary. This is the agitator. It's really for coal. And this is the air wash for the glass. You want that all the way to the right. It's open, and you want the primary all the way open when you light it. This is the Dwarf 5 kilowatt stove by Tiny Wood Stove Company. This is the largest one they make. It's good for up to 500 square feet. This building is 540, but it seems to work just fine for it as well. I usually just fire it up once in the evening and then restock it with firewood and then let it go out, you know, overnight while I'm sleeping, and in the morning the temperature drops about 10 degrees in the building. But it's still quite comfortable compared to outside. Usually throw a piece of tree bark in there. No, I got some of this one. If I'm using it all day, like if it's real cold, it seems like 2 5-gallon buckets worth of firewood will last all day. Let's put a little tree bark kind of propped up like that. They say to start out with little tiny stuff and get it going and then just slowly keep putting it in, but I found this works good, you know, just arrange it so that it can get going good. I'll put some smaller pieces of wood against that now. A little piece of tree bark. I found stacking them, kind of leaning them to the back, works the best. And I'll take a little block of wood, something about like this, and set it on top, and it'll get it going good and hot pretty quick. That's it. Time to light it. I'll take just a little piece of this, that bottom part of the yucca that's got that stuff right there, lights real good. And you would just want to leave the door just slightly cracked open. It'll draw in a little extra air to get it going. That's how I light it. I'll keep this primary open like this for this first burn, get it burning good and hot, and get some coals in there. And then once it starts to, you know, fall apart, I'll stack some bigger logs on it at that same angle, kind of leaning towards the back like that. You don't want to put them in flat. It doesn't seem to burn as good. So I found. And you don't want them facing forward like with the end of the wood, because it'll leave soot marks all over the glass. It stays pretty clean when you prop it up like this. Keep it off of it. Yeah, those dried yucca leaves work real good. I'm going to put a pot of water on there for some tea here in a minute, and I'm going to take the easy way out on cooking. I'm going to just heat up some of the barbecue that I cooked extra the other night instead of go out there in the cold. Well, let's go upstairs real quick and look at what I got done up there. Here we are upstairs. Sorry for the lighting. I don't have any temporary lighting up here. We've got this little handheld light. I'll tell you what, I really like these lights. I bought some. This is the newer version of it. This one lasts 50 hours with a full charge, and it gives you the option to charge it with a USB. The old ones lasted 12 hours with 6 hours of sun charge. It also can charge itself in the sun. It's got a little solar panel on the back. So this is the pull box I made. Got it in. Still need to put these other 3 1-inch EMT stubs and then stub it down further downstairs. That's going to be the receptacle for up here. I'm going to put another one probably on the other side of this, maybe 2 cells over past that window here. And then that'll be it for this wall here. There's not a whole lot up here. Been thinking I may keep plugging away at this upstairs on these days that, you know, I can't do machine work, and try to finish this upstairs completely. It'll be nice to have one little section of the building completely done. It'll sure make my wife happy as well. She doesn't like unorganized things. Down here, I got some couplings right there on that 1-inch EMT. I still need to put the other 3 that are going in front of that. And then I've got that hole right there for the 3/4 EMT, and there'll be another receptacle right here. And stub out the bottom. On this 1-inch, I need to go ahead and put the junction box underneath though, the pull box, because I need to tighten it. You know, where it's going to be hard to tighten it if I try to run all of them together at the same time. So I need to go ahead and put that in when I get back working on it. Well, looks like I better put some water on there. I'm wasting potential heat energy. The little thermometer stuck. I think it would be moving by now. Yeah, it's stuck. About 100 now. It had some little rough edges on that. I had to scrape it so that it was a little smoother. I guess it's still got a little hang up right there at the very bottom. I've heard it'll get hot enough and get enough tension on it, it'll pop past it. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to heat me up some yesterday leftovers and take it easy. See y'all later. Well, I'm back. I figured you might want to see what I was cooking. So, I decided on chicken that I cooked the night before. Well, I cooked this actually about 4 nights ago. Just heating it up. Of course, I started with 2 pieces of bacon to keep the chicken from sticking to the pan. So this is that same fire that I showed you how I made it after it's been going for a while. It's getting close to the point, and then I'll be adding some bigger logs to it. I usually let that piece that I've got sitting on top fall down into it, and then that's my sign to put some bigger lumber in there. It's in a good temperature. About, you can see it's about 300 degrees. Yep, this should be good. I'll probably heat up some can of green beans or something like that to go with this. Well, that's all I got. See you on the next one.